Yay, I'm still recording on my sucky webcam. Bought a camera for like $115 and I can't use it because my fucking cord. Anyway, so I wanted to have kind of like a story time moment for y'all guys. Now, I've seen a lot of things going around about dress codes and how they are pretty much, totally against women having any kind of, comfortable to them. And I thought I would share an opinion. And this isn't a feminist thing. I mean, I would consider myself a feminist, but this is one thing that I really wanted to say, and I don't know how you guys are going to take this. There's a very real issue, at least where I live, because I live in Tennessee, and I'm just going to share a story time of what happened whenever I was in middle school. There was a very big problem with people that choose to dress differently. And I'm talking about the emos, the goths, the punks, the whatever you want to call yourself. And a person that has an alternative fashion. I remember whenever I was in middle school, there were certain dress code rules that we had to follow. You couldn't wear black eye makeup. Couldn't have black nails. You couldn't have, back in like 2005, whenever the arm warmer things with the hole cut in the middle, those. You weren't allowed to wear those. You weren't allowed to wear any kind of like wristband type things. You weren't allowed to wear suspenders. You weren't allowed to have haircuts where you had your hair in your eyes. And that's not going like straight for the emos. I don't know what it is. And, like, if you did those things, you got in trouble for them. Like, you legitimately got written up. It wasn't like one of those stupid rules nobody follows, Like, you weren't allowed to wear black eyeshadow, and that to me was just fucking stupid. Like, you weren't allowed to dress a certain way. Like, I remember people getting in trouble for wearing band t-shirts, but, like, they always gave you some bullshit reasons. Like, the reason we weren't allowed to wear suspenders is because you could strangle somebody with them. What? And the reason we weren't allowed to wear little wrist things is because you could spray stuff on them and get high during class. I've had a lot of stuff like that happen to me. Just because I am unapologetically myself. Like, I don't try to dress a certain way to appease other people. Like, I have a certain style that I like, and I stick with that style, It was literally, they profiled me solely for the way that I looked. Just like if I was going to the bathroom and there was a preppy girl that walked past me, I would be the one that got stopped and got questioned. One time on the bus, we had to stop because I was like, what was I? Was I a senior or a junior? I don't remember. But I rode the bus to school, and we dropped off because I went to a very small school at this point. And so we would drop off the elementary students, and then we go to the middle school, and then we went to the high school. Well, at the elementary school, the principal for the elementary school got on the bus and he started walking towards us. Well, I'm respectful towards adults, so it was obvious that he was coming back there to talk to us, so I set my phone down. He was, chit-chatting with everybody, and he looked at me, he said, "You hid your phone whenever I got on the bus. Give me your phone, let me see what you were doing." I was like, and my friend next to me is like, "No, he's just kidding. It's just a sense of humor." And I was like, "He doesn't look like he's kidding." And he's like, "Give me your phone." I'm like, "No, you're not an authority figure to me." He walked up to my black friend. She had like the really big afro and stuff like that. And he walked up to her and he said, "Well, what's in that Pringles can?" And she was just like, "Pringles?" Now I'm going to point out that at this point, I would take out my lip rings before I got to school. But at this point, I had my lip rings in. I was wearing a leather jacket, wearing a skull t-shirt, and some skinny jeans and some combat boots at this point. And so he picked out the I'm sorry, I'm laughing about this, but it was really serious because I went to my principal and told him about it and everything. I was like, I think that was wrong. He walked up to the alternative girl and the black girl. Everybody else he was completely fine with. But apparently, some elementary students had told the principal that they smelt beer on the bus. None of us had beer. Turns out later that it was actually a substitute bus driver that we had that had been drinking that day. Okay, first off, how would you smell beer if it was at the back of the bus and the elementary students sat at the front? But anyway, I just thought that that was really weird. But at church, I am a Christian and I go to church. At church, me and my friend that was black got up to go use the restroom while there was a sermon happening. And we were stopped at the door and we were told that we couldn't go to the bathroom. And we were like, okay. And then we go and sit back down. We're telling my sister what happened. She was, about to go raise some cane. And we see two little white girls with blonde hair walk up there and just go out the building. Though, don't even give them two looks. What the fuck? Also, whenever I was in middle school, there was a trend that went around that was called emo bashing. Because this was like 2005 through that 2007, 2008. So, right around the time that the emos were at their peak. There was a thing called emo bashing in my town that pretty much the country kids, because I live in Tennessee, the country kids would try to hit you with their cars whenever they saw you walking outside. And it became such a problem that we had to walk in groups and keep pens and pencils with us and everything. And I had a friend that goth or whatever. I'm just the alternative nature. He wore the trip pants and all that kind of stuff. So take with that what you will. But he actually got hit by one of these people, and he has the scars to prove it. I don't understand why that was a thing. If people truly hate other people that much, but as I have dressed this way. I was always a tomboy, so I guess since basically I was able to pick out clothes myself, but it is a very real problem. I've had a lot of kind of stuff like that happen to me growing up at schools and stuff, so I think that's something that we need to talk about a little bit more. Like, granted, yes, I choose to look the way that I look, but at the same time, I don't think that I should be punished and treated any differently than anybody else. I don't understand why we are treated any differently just because we choose to dress a certain way. I don't know what negative stereotypes are coming along that are making people think that we are any different. But I don't know. I thought that I would share that and just kind of bring it into conversation because I don't think that anybody talks about it. And I think that everybody should stop hating on everybody else just because they don't look the way that you think they're supposed to look. Well, I'm going to end this now, guys. I just thought that I should bring that into conversation whenever it comes to school dress codes and just, discrimination. That I should bring up that it is discrimination as well. Granted, it might not be because of our gender or because of our race, but it's discrimination just the same. Love you guys. Toodles.